Johannesburg, often referred to as the City of Gold, is the economic hub of South Africa, attracting thousands of people seeking better work opportunities every day. When you enter the bustling streets of Joburg CBD, one of the things that stand out is the amount of solid waste lining the streets. Why is it so hard to keep Joburg clean? The MMC for Environment and Infrastructure Services in the city of Joburg explains that rapid population growth is a contributing factor.
As a city of Johannesburg, I think we attract quite a number of people here. It's a city of gold. Everybody will want to see himself here in Johannesburg for greener pastures. That as a result, obviously, will then put much burden on our workforce in terms of waste collection and all these other things. But I think that contributes a lot. We must indicate, if you look in terms of statistics, you'll find more than 10,000 people flocking here every month in Johannesburg. You understand what it does to the capacity of Pick It Up and all city entities in terms of service provision.
With a population of about 5 million people, Joburg generates about 1.4 million tons of domestic waste a year. And unkempt CBD is only one of the results of this. Another problem currently facing Joburg is that its residents produce so much solid waste that it is fast running out of landfill space.
Unfortunately, for one of the municipalities in Gauteng, and specifically Johannesburg, they are literally running out of airspace. Now, people are not always familiar with what does airspace mean. Now, airspace is void. A meter by meter by meter is a void that you can fill waste in. So whenever you design a landfill facility, you look at how much airspace can you generate on that specific facility. Now, a landfill then gets classified, depends on the size of that, whether it's a small landfill, a big landfill, or a large landfill. So on that basis, the city of Johannesburg has been warned about, I reckon, 8 years ago, to say that people, you are running out of space to dispose of your waste.
There are currently only 4 sites used by Pick It Up for waste disposal. All these sites are left with a 2-year lifespan. One of the suggested solutions to this issue is proper recycling projects and better waste management.
If I can explain it this way, let's assume that the city of Johannesburg's got 2 million tons of waste per annum that they need to dispose of or process somewhere. Not the 2 million tons per annum consists of municipal solid waste. It also consists of building rubble, garden greens, and then what we call the commodities, your recyclable type of waste. And then the tail ends, which is the part that you cannot dispose of, that needed to go into landfill for the reason that they contaminated with food or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the same study that was done for the city of Johannesburg showed to them that they have to immediately divert 40% of their waste stream away from landfills, and then they can extend the 3.5 years to something like 5.5 to 6 years and even longer. Now, where do they extend that to? Why do we need to take a resource like garden greens, a resource like building rubble, into a landfill that cannot really pollute, but rather take them to a facility where the garden greens can be processed into compost, the building rubble can be reprocessed or repurposed, for agriculture or agro or construction use, and then taking the commodities out, because then you're only sitting with about, I would say, 25% of the waste that need to be disposed of. So therefore, you prolong the life of that landfill.
The city says it is already trying to implement some of these suggestions, as well as doing more to clean the CBD.
The kind of engagement that we are currently on is to extend the lifespan of these landfills, and also obviously engage citizens around the issue of separation of waste at their own residential area, to avoid taking load into a landfill, so that we then prolong the lifespan of this We are engaging obviously with private landowners so that we expand our own landfills in the city of Johannesburg.
The city says it also has plans for informal recyclers and waste pickers.
Our intention is necessary to regulate them, because if we don't, the likelihood is that they will operate the way they do, where they will collect waste from various areas, go under bridge or wherever they separate their waste and leave a very huge deposit of rubble there. So if we can't regulate them, then it will give us a problem. We have an intention to engage them. In most of our landfills, there's engagement around those who are around our landfills intending to mine our landfills, so that they enter properly and make arrangements. They must be registered so that we then regulate them.
Ultimately, to revive Joburg, resolve the landfill issue, and have improved waste management solutions, multiple role players need to be involved.
So as a resident, if we can divert our wet or separate our wet and dry waste from each other. So the dry waste, meaning your tins, your paper, your glass, the stuff that can easily be recycled, and put that in a separate bag. It's also not good if the resident do the wet and dry separation, but the municipality still mixes it up in the same truck. So the municipality, we have to play ball with the municipality. If they're not on board of collecting this recyclables, you know, that's why residents lose interest in recycling. Be aware of what waste you generate. Be aware of what facilities are around you. There are numerous facilities that would like to take your garden greens. You know, there are numerous facilities that would like to take your building rubble over. There are numerous facilities that would like to take your commodities. And then the municipality only need to deal with that 25% of contaminated waste that need to go to landfill. If we can only do that, we will go a long way in solving our problem.
You'll understand that it can't be correct that people will dump illegally and pick it up is expected to come and clean. That one is not normal. We'll clean for now, but equally the resident must come on board. We'll get cleaning campaigns like One Waste. We're anticipating them to join us to assist us to clean their own livelihood, their own area. So they must then be able to join those particular cleanup campaigns that is going to be done by us and other NGOs around their area, so that they understand that it is at their best interest that their streets and residents looks very clean.